Hello, friends. Welcome back to the car. This week, I spoke to somebody in the Serenity OS community who was asking me for advice about a job offer that he had. And I thought I would talk a little bit about it here because we spoke about two things in particular that I think are very good to know about, especially if you are young or inexperienced in the job market. And these are things I was very clueless about for a long time, and I wish somebody would have explained them to me. So the situation was that this guy works as a programmer today and had been looking around at some other jobs, and now got a very interesting offer from a new company that would offer a significant pay increase. So the first thing that I said about this is that you can always ask for a little bit more money than you're initially offered. So that's my first piece of advice to anybody with a job offer in hand. You can always try to negotiate your salary up a little bit. If you ask for 5% more, 10% more, the worst thing that they will say is, no, that's not in our budget. We can't do that. Take it or leave it, right? If the company likes you, they want to hire you, they're not going to tell you to screw off if you just ask for a slight increase in pay. That would just be silly. So that's something that I didn't figure that out until I was in my 30s. I was too afraid to ask. I felt like it was too awkward, or I was uncomfortable talking about money. And really, I was just leaving money on the table. And I've learned later in life that often the way it works is that the hiring manager or the person who's making you an offer and communicating with you, very often they actually have a budget for how much of a raise they can give you on top of the initial offer, even without asking their own management. So oftentimes, if you ask for a small bump from the initial offer, they can just approve that right away, no questions asked. And the only thing that's really for sure is that if you don't ask for a raise, or if you don't try to negotiate your salary, they're not going to do it for you. They're not going to pay you any more if they don't have to, right? So that's my first piece of advice to anybody with a job offer, is to just ask for a little bit more, see what happens, and put on your big boy pants or your big girl pants or whatever, and ask for a little raise. And so then what happened with the job offer here was that I guess he told his current employer, or they found out that he was looking at another job offer. So they decided to make a counter offer and offer him a raise so he could stay at his current job, but they would pay him the same exact salary as the new job was offering. And yeah, I mean, that's a really comfortable option if you think about it, right? Like, you just stay in the same place, keep doing the same job, you just get paid a whole lot more suddenly. And I can see how that's tempting, and there's nothing wrong with taking that if you're happy with the idea of it. Like, maybe you didn't even want the new job in the first place or whatever. But there is one downside to that type of offer that's really good to know about. If you accept a counter offer from your current employer that they give you in order to retain you, it's very likely going to be much harder going forward to negotiate like future raises, because if they blow a huge raise budget on you now just to keep you, when it comes time for next year's annual salary renegotiation, they're not going to be super eager to give you another big raise. They're going to give you probably the minimum for a while. Whereas if you go to the new company where you're entering at the high salary, then the upward mobility in salary is like much more open, typically. And that's really good to know about. So there you have like a much higher chance of getting like nice raises year after year. Whereas if you stay in the current job, you might get a really big bump now, but then you're gonna get a long sequence of small minimum bumps for a while. Not saying it has to happen that way, but if you think about it from the employer's perspective, it kind of makes a lot of sense, right? They just bumped one of their employees, maybe like far above their own peers, and now they're gonna let your coworkers play catch up for a while or something. Yeah, so those were the two things that we talked about, and I'm very happy to report that this guy with the job offer has accepted it, and it is super awesome. I'm super happy for him. So congratulations, dude, if you're watching this. I am always so happy to hear about people in the Serenity OS community having success in life or in their careers or families or whatever happens. It really just makes me so happy that I get to hear about these things and get to, have a little small part in it sometimes. I almost feel like it's a one big family and I'm just everybody's programming uncle or something like that, and you're all my little nieces and nephews. It's a jolly good feeling. So thank you for letting me have that. And just such good vibes. Anyway, that's all I had to talk about today. Just wanted to share about that, and thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.